19,000 feet plus above sea level. That's where our next guest will be. Christopher Hilken, president of the Clean Water Foundation, will be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. His goal? To bring awareness to the global water crisis. Christopher joins me now live in studio. And Christopher, why do you want to climb this mountain?
Well, as an environmental professional that's been working on water issues for all my life, I'm pretty well aware of what the global water crisis is and how serious a matter it is. And through WaterCan, I actually found a way that I could make a personal contribution. So that was kind of important to me.
How is climbing the mountain going to aid you in supporting the cause that you've chosen?
Well, climbing the mountain will just draw attention. That's the big thing. But the week before we actually climb Kilimanjaro, and people can follow us as we're doing that and see our personal commitment to the cause, we'll actually be visiting communities in Africa. We'll be visiting some Maasai communities to see the actual extent of the problem and to see the good work that WaterCan is doing to make lives better.
Kilimanjaro is a mountain. And that obviously brings in and of itself some dangers that are inherent in mountain climbing. Are you worried about that?
I'm a little tiny bit nervous, but I'm fairly confident. I think we've had very good briefings so far. Our tour operator, we have a lot of confidence in them. And we've been training hard. So, we're confident, but always careful.
Chris, you ever done anything like this before?
I'm an active person, I'm an outdoor type of person, but nothing like this ever.
Climbing a mountain's a big choice to make.
Yeah, well, it's a big cause, so I figure it's the least I can do. Some
of the issues that people run into when they're climbing mountains, any mountain for that matter, I mean, you're talking about summiting some 19,000 feet. Right. You're going to go through some oxygen deprivation situations. That is probably the foremost reason why people don't complete this type of climb.
Right.
How are you going to deal with that?
Well, there's medication to help you with it, first of all. But you're right, there's half the amount of oxygen at the top of the mountain as there is right here in this room right now. Training helps. Pacing yourself is a big key to it, and making sure that you don't, if you're going too fast, it's going to affect you, so you've got to be slow, take your rest when you need to, and acclimatize where you can.
We put the scariness about climbing the mountain out there, but I should point out to our viewers that the oldest person ever to climb Kilimanjaro was an 87-year-old person. You don't look like you're 87, Chris.
Yeah, I'm looking all right for my age, I think.
On a serious note, though, how did you get involved with this charity?
My family's been involved with WaterCan for most of its 25 years. Personally, I got involved in this initiative because a good friend of mine, Carrie Freak, who is the editor of Water Canada magazine, was putting on a little fundraiser. She's a fellow climber, and she was putting on a little fundraiser, and so I went down just to support. And after talking to Carrie and the executive director of WaterCan, his name is George Yap, I think I just blurted out something like, why don't I ever get invited to do something like this? And they responded, well, that's a funny thing to say because, and the next thing you knew, they'd convinced me, they'd captured my imagination, and I knew I could make a really positive contribution, and I was sold.
So how do you go about raising money when you're climbing a mountain? Is this getting donations for the completion of the cause, for every foot of elevation you take, or?
We're raising dollars for projects, so every climber is paying their own way to go on the trip and climb the mountain. So every dollar that we raise actually goes directly to projects. And so we all have online fundraising initiatives that are going on through WaterCan. Some of us are putting on local events. We have one here in Toronto on Wednesday evening that people will be coming out to. So,
right. Well, there are those that are skeptical of people who climb mountains because they say it's something that only the elite do. It's a pretty expensive endeavor to undertake. Why not just take that money and donate to the cause rather than go through the trouble of climbing a mountain?
I think, not unlike something like the Terry Fox Run, when you're willing to make a personal contribution and a commitment that is taxing on yourself, I think it captures people's imagination and says, this person really believes in this cause. And it's a way of engaging a lot more people than just me, right? I'm making a contribution, obviously, my family is, but I'm reaching a heck of a lot more people, and so it has a very large leverage factor, I think.
Those same people who are looking at this sometimes cast a view askance at climbing mountains, because here you are, you're an avowed environmentalist, but there are those that say that climbing a mountain runs afoul of the environment. You're leaving garbage behind. You're invading a pristine environment, so to speak. How would you answer critics of that?
Well, we've taken a lot of precautions, and we've worked with our tour company to ensure that actually we aren't leaving a footprint. So we're not leaving anything behind. We are also not the only people that go up there, right? There are a number of climbs per year. So I think we're leaving a minimal environmental impact there, and we're creating a lot of good from an environment and a human health perspective.
Last question for you, Chris. How many people are you expected to go along this journey with you?
So it's a team of 22 Canadians from all across the
Wow.
country, yeah, from coast to coast.
That's a pretty large party going up the mountain.
It's a good team, and we're led by a famous Canadian, Ben Mulroney, and a number of environmentalists, but people who are celebrating anniversaries and thought, you know, that would be a great way to celebrate 25 years of marriage, that kind of stuff.
Well, just so our viewers at home know, when is the date of this attempt at scaling Kilimanjaro?
We leave here, Toronto, or Canada, on October 12th. And we return, I think we finished the climb on October 24th, so 7 days before the 24th. So I guess we start the 17th or so, we start to ascend.
All right, well, you look fit and healthy. Good luck to you, my
I've been
man.
working on it. Thanks very
All right.
much.